Highbridge Quilting in Boone, Iowa was a completely unplanned stop. I had looked for a shop in Boone earlier in the year and there hadn't been one. So this is a very brand new shop. I think it opened in March. We happened to see it as we were driving by downtown. And since we were in Boone for family history stuff, we had to stop there. It was cool to see the vintage stuff that was left from this being an old store downtown. Being new, they're not very large yet, but they do have a nice selection. And since one of the things Keith remembers from Boone when he was a child was having ham there that he says has never been equaled, the fabric that they suggested for us had little pigs on it, and so we thought that that was very appropriate. The Iowa Quilt Museum had been on my list since we had gone to pick up our trailer in 2020. I had noticed it on the map and wanted to visit, but we didn't have the time on that trip, and so this was one of the things we definitely had to do. It's a cute little gift store area. The museum itself was different than I expected. I thought it would be more sewing related museum, but it tends to be more of a traveling art gallery. They have different exhibitions that come in. This one was from the Manhattan Quilt Guild, a group of, I believe it's 40 women that have been quilting together for a very long time. And of course, there's a little bit of history in there. It was amazing to see how different everybody's work was. This piece really impressed me. All those little teeny tiny prairie points. They're just itty bitty, and there's a million of them, and they're all perfect. Peaceworks quilt shop was the original Iowa quilt shop that was planned. It's right there by the Iowa Quilt Museum. I believe this shop is where Fons and Porter's original shop used to be. This is a big shop. It goes back forever. Lots and lots and lots of fabric. Her suggestion for fabric for me was a piece from the Iowa State Shop Hop. Up till then, I didn't know they had state shop hops. But it was fun because the fabric actually says Iowa on it. Cutting Edge Quilt Shop has actually been in business for, I think it's 27 years, but it has a new owner as of December. Because it's new owner, they were not allowed to participate in the state shop hop. She said that I picked probably the one quilt shop in the state that wasn't participating. But it was a really fun shop. It was cute and I just loved it. We had a lot of fun visiting with the owner and with the gals that were in there working. lot of keep samples hanging up in the shop, and of course they're all available for kits. If you see something you like, feel free to order it from them and let them know that you heard about it here. We picked a fabric that had been a previous shop hop fabric because loons are their state bird. It seemed really appropriate that the fabric has loons and other waterfowl on it. I especially love that snowman quilt. It's flannel and it is a kit. Quilt Elements in Wisconsin is a very small shop. When you first walked in, I thought there can't be any fabric in here because there was no room. But he actually has a little side room, and there is a surprising amount of fabric inside of very small space. I saw several cute bags hanging up as samples that looked like fun to do as well. And the fabric we found was, again, a shop hop fabric. It actually had the Apostle Islands on it, and since that was the main thing that we were seeing in Wisconsin, that seemed kind of fun. Delphine's also goes back for quite a ways. There's tons of fabric in here as well. The little hexagon quilt, that's kind of what I want to do with my shop fabrics, so that I have a record of which fabric came from which shop. It just keeps going and going and going. Now, they didn't have any good suggestions for me for fabric. So at first I was kind of overwhelmed because there's so much fabric here. Finally found one that I thought would do. And as we were just, kind of talking about how there's so much there to choose from, we suddenly discovered there's actually a whole nother section of the building that we hadn't even been aware of. This whole other section has wool fabrics and flannels and backings, and they had classes in there. Just almost a whole new quilt shop. Here's some of their little wool kits. And this is where we found the fabric that we chose. We actually couldn't agree. I found some with sailboats, which I liked because we'd seen many sailboats. Keith found one with trees because we've been going through a lot of trees. So we got both. We compromised.